Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo! Woo!
No woo for Jakey.
Just like that, he was gone again. He had a quick karaoke gig, but he'll be joining us for the next episode.
Yeah, it's a local one this time. He's doing karaoke in Toronto. So for any Toronto locals, hit up your local bar and Jakey will probably be there doing some karaoke. Well. But welcome in everybody to Banger Management, the fantasy hockey podcast with Kevin and Josh today. We are going to go over our week 15 waiver wire targets, streamers, all that good stuff, who you need to pick up on your roster to win your fantasy matchup. Josh and I, this is funny, Josh and I in week 15 are playing against each other in League of Record. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
We're gonna have to take our own advice to see who we're streaming against each other and whatnot. So when Josh and I play each other, it's always a mess in the group chat because it's always just like back and forth chaos. I feel like it's just like depression chaos back and forth. It's
exactly.
Like who has the worst luck out of the two of us, and it's just like complaining like, oh, I'm gonna lose this week. No, I'm gonna lose this week.
And then it usually ends up like 7-6 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've beat me pretty hard in recent years, maybe.
That's fair. I mean, the most recent matchup we had, your whole team was injured, so that was this past year. But I feel like I usually come out on top, but like it's usually pretty close.
Yeah. The thing is with Josh though is like he makes trades specifically for our matchup. Like Josh traded for McDavid, for Draisaitl. They happen to have a 5-game week against me this year. I'm making trades for the playoffs, so that's what it counts. I'll see you then.
It just so happens that it works out. It's not specifically for the matchup, but I do look a couple of weeks ahead, so I'll make sure I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean it's important to look ahead. That's how you build a good team.
Oh yeah. All right. Did you tell everyone to check out all our stuff?
I was gonna say before getting right into it though, if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to the last episode, we recorded 3 episodes in person. Josh came to Montreal to visit, so it was super fun. We were able to record for like the first time all together in person this year. So that was really cool. The audio was a little shakier on those episodes because like we're all in the same room and like the feedback with the mics and everything like that. But I hope the content was still good. And the last episode we did was a bonus episode, not fantasy hockey related. We kind of just asked each other some questions, had our girlfriends write some questions for us, and then some spicy answers. So I think that was really cool. So if you haven't checked that out and you're looking for some extra Banger Management content, go look at the last episode before this one. And listen, if this is your first episode here, make sure you drop us a follow on everything. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, drop us a follow there. Rate us 5 stars as well if you like what you hear. If you're watching on YouTube, that's really cool. I hope you like what you see. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like. Let us know what trades you pulled off recently. Let us know who you're thinking about picking up, all that good stuff. And join the Discord community. I think it's a really cool time there. If you're looking for a community where you could talk about fantasy hockey, ask questions about your team, see what other people are thinking about their teams, bounce some trade ideas off each other, the Banger Management Community Discord is where you need to be. So all those links are in the description below. So make sure you check that out. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Nice. Yeah, let's get right into it. So we'll start with our Week 14 choices. So this was a bit of a rough one, but not really our fault. We'll get into it. So first we had Igor Chernyshov. Since last week, he has 0 points. That's a big L. I went against my better judgment in recommending him because I usually hate recommending guys who are not on Power Play 1. But what he was doing was just too like fire. Amazing. It's too good to not mention. And he had a great schedule this week with the 4 games. Look, they still have 2 more games this week. It could still end up working out as a solid stream, but for now, it's looking like an L, so we keep ourselves accountable there. Next, we had Mason Marchment, 2 games played, 1 goal, 0 assists, 1 point, and then he got injured. So unfortunately, I think we have to count that as an L, even though I think this is a really good pickup. And so it's tough. That's how it works out sometimes with the injuries. But look, if you have him and you stashed him, I'm still super happy with how that worked out. If you didn't have the IR space and had to drop him, then that's why we're counting it as an L. And then we had Ryan O'Reilly, who we've recommended, I think, this 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Last 5 weeks.
Yeah, still somehow under 40%, and 3 games played, 2 goals, 0 assists, 2 points, another W. Like, we're gonna keep recommending him because he keeps, sending us W's our way, right? And he keeps being like point per game. So we'll see if he ever goes above 40%, and gets kicked off our show. But that brings us to 25-11 on the season. Still pretty sick, but we'll have to come back at you with some more wins to get that number even better.
Yep.
But let's dive in to week 15. So 2-game teams, there's Colorado and San Jose. Then there's one 5-game team, and that's Edmonton. And then there's a bunch of 4-game teams. So I'm not going to go through all of them. The busy nights are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And there's a bunch of teams that play on multiple off nights. So let's dive in to our top 10.
Wait.
Yep.
I was going to say, whenever we have 2-game weeks, I feel like it's always important to ask, like, all right, if I have a guy on this roster, like, who's worth dropping, who's worth keeping through a week like this?
Okay. So for Colorado, obviously, like the fringe guys.
And we're going to talk about like 12-team leagues. So like if you're in a shallower league, I feel like, okay, let's start. Mention shallow league. I drop, normal league is like 12 standard teams league-ish. I can't articulate anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so Colorado, like the fringe guys, normally my go-to every time Colorado has a 2-game week is to tell people to drop Devon Taves, but he's week to week, so he's probably already been dropped. In terms of but pretty much any defenseman who's not Makar, you don't need to keep him. Like if you have Brent Burns, I'm fine dropping him in a 2-game.
You have Josh Manson, the GOAT, who just dropped 4 points against me in my matchup with 7 pims and like 2 shots, 2 hits, 2 blocks. The best game ever. You could drop him.
Yeah. Honestly, like any defenseman who's not Makar is droppable on a 2-game week for this team. And then forwards-wise, obviously, other than McKinnon, Natchez.
Yeah. It's like the Nekkanins, Lekanen, Nichushkin. Like, are you dropping those on a 2-game week or you're holding?
I mean, I'm not dropping Nichushkin, but and I'm not dropping Nelson either with how crazy like the hot streak he's been on.
Okay.
Lekanen, I think I'd be willing to drop. Although I think it might be his turn on power play 1.
Last practice he was on PP1.
That's it. So it's tough but I mean, we've talked about this a lot. Like it's so like it goes up and down. The fluctuations, like it switches so much. Their power play is not even that good. So that really depends like how deep your league is, right? If you have like
if you can pick up a Ryan O'Reilly,
no brainer, easy.
Okay.
So if that type of player is available, then I'm very comfortable dropping like a Lekanen or something like that. So that's for Colorado. San Jose, I think, is a bit easier. If your name's not like Macklin Celebrini or
John
I mean, honestly,
the GOAT.
any defenseman, any defenseman on San Jose can be dropped. Honestly, like other than Celebrini, like I know Eklund's like the second best guy there, but like pretty much anyone on this team is droppable in a 2-game week other than Celebrini.
Even a 12, like I have Eklund in our league of record. I'm really happy with him. Like he's actually been on fire lately. His shooting volume is really high and everything. But if I'm in a 12-team league, like our league is 14 teams and it's 22 roster spots deep, I'm not gonna drop Eklund. But if you're in a 12-team standard league, you could probably pick up better than Eklund on a week like this. So I would drop him. Yeah. And goalies though, Askarov, they play a back-to-back this week, so he's only getting one start. If Askarov is your second or third goalie, and you could pick up like we'll talk about some names later, but like the classics that are on the waivers, like the Jet Greaves or the Gibsons or all that, like, and you need the starts, I'd cut Askarov for either of those guys.
And it's crazy because he was such a sell high like a month ago, and
more than a month ago.
Maybe like 2 months ago.
It was week 8 or something. So
yeah. So hopefully people got him off their teams, but because now he's droppable on a 1-game week. But yeah. And then for Colorado goalies,
back to normal.
Yeah, for Colorado goalies, you're holding both of them, obviously, even if they only play 1 game this week. But who knows if Blackwood's even going to be back? So okay, now let's dive into our top 10 points guys for this week. Let's start with
number 10.
At number 10, we have Oliver Kapanen of the Montreal Canadiens. 4-game week this week. Look, I don't love recommending non-power play 1 guys, but it's the bottom of the list, so it's okay. I'm not going to make the same mistake. We're not recommending non-power play 1 guys in our top 3 again. I'm not going to fall for it again, but as the 10th best, like what he's been doing has been really noticeably good. If you watch the Habs, it honestly looks like their line's the first line, which is crazy to say when you've got like Suzuki and Caulfield on the first line, but like Slav, Kapanen, and Demidov have looked unbelievable out there, and they're capitalizing on a lot of chances. So on a 4-game week, I like taking a shot at Kapanen if you need. He's also really good at faceoff. Well, he wins faceoffs, and he's good at blocking as well from a forward. So those are some nice advantages as well.
Yeah, I mean, he'll play like 15 to 17 minutes a night, and he'll get you like either 0 shots, 1 shot, or 3 shots. It feels like. So he's hovering in that direction with like 7 face-off wins. But the points are really stacking up there. Like he's scoring a lot of goals. As we record this, he's got 4 goals in the last 5 games. So he's on a heater. Do we think he's going to score every game like that? No, but when he has chemistry on the second line, the Habs have a good schedule this upcoming week. Their power play is clicking. Like he's not on PP1, but that doesn't mean that he won't get opportunities on PP2, when the unit comes out. So I'm not saying he's going to get a power play point this week, but I'm just saying he's in form. When guys are in form like this, you want exposure to them if you're in a deep enough league. Like we did in Proface, but these are all guys that are less than 40% owned. I mean, Kapanen's 8% owned. So realistically, like there's probably 9 guys ahead on this list that are better pickups for your league. There might be guys that are not on this list that are also better pickups for your league if they're more than 40% owned. So do your due diligence, check your waiver wire who's available, but I like Kapanen.
Yeah, these are deep cuts for sure. And if you're in a shallower league, hop in the Discord and we'll help you out on who to pick up.
Yes.
All right, let's go to
number 9.
At number 9, we have Andrei Kuzmenko of the LA Kings. Another 4-game week. And this is the type of guy that, like, normally I don't really want to pick up for long term at least, because he will get you straight zeros if he's not getting you points.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 4-game week. He's on power play 1. I know LA's a mess right now, but he's still getting that good deployment. And honestly, like, a lot of it was eye test. I don't know if you saw his goal this past week, where I saw someone describe it as like you playing like NHL like 14 or something, and he just like went through the entire team, like did like a couple spins, whatever, and scored. And I was just like, he's got a couple multi-point games in his last like 5 games. He's been a point per game over the past week and a half. So again, this is very much not a long-term one, but short-term, he can definitely provide you some value for this week.
Yeah, and we're recording this before Saturday, like the Saturday games happen. So it's ready to go up Sunday morning. And the last 2 games, Kuzmenko has been close to 19, 20 minutes a night, which usually, like before this, his deployment was making him play like, 13, 14 minutes. So that's just, strong and encouraging minutes are always good for a player's value. He hasn't had a point in these last 2 games, but that means he's getting the good minutes, playing, alongside quality players, and is giving him the best chance to succeed. So on a 4-game week, the guy that's supposed to be a scorer or special offensive talent, I'll take the chance.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go to
number 8.
At number 8, we've got Boone Jenner of the Columbus Blue Jackets. He only has 3 games this week, but he's been playing well enough that he still cracked the list. It was he's the type of guy who it's always like, do I put him under the bangers? Do we put him under the points guys? But his points have been there. The bangers have really been there.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you're going to pick up in a bangers league, and even if he doesn't put up points, you're still super happy having him because he's been shooting, hitting, blocking, chipping in a tiny bit of face-off wins, and then also getting points. So yeah, no, I love Jenner as a pickup.
He's just like a darling, especially for banger management. I think he's been a guy that we've all liked having on our teams when possible. I think JK has had him on his team the most. He has the notorious year. What was it? It was last year, right? Where he drafted Doan in like the 10th or 11th round, and then out for the season. So and then he cut him, and then somebody else picked him up, and he ended up coming back, and that guy won the league. So because of Boone Jenner. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's just always solid. If you're in a bangers league, especially one with face-off wins, like Boone Jenner is always it's like a must roster name. It feels like. So
yeah.
If he's still available in your league and you play one of those leagues, please pick him up this week.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to
number 7.
At number 7, we have Ryan Leonard of the Washington Capitals. Again, a 3-game week, but he plays 4 times the week after. Leonard's been popping off. That whole second line of Leonard, Sordiff, and McMichael is just having one of the most insane weeks that we've seen recently, especially from a second line, not even the first line. And Leonard is a guy we talked about previously, the fact that he cracked power play 1 and was holding on to it. So it's not really surprising to see him pop off, but it's surprising to see him pop off this much and see how right we were. Mm-hmm. So this is definitely a long-term pickup.
Yeah. You'll notice that he's pretty high on the list for someone that only has 3 games. But listen, if you listen to the earlier episodes of Banger Management, like a week and a half ago-ish, Jakey said he was taking the chance on Sordiff And it was like an honorable mention on our waiver wire show that week because we talked about Ryan Leonard and we were like, hey, listen, don't forget this guy. Like, he looks like he's getting some good deployment now. And if you picked him up, I know we saw a couple people in the Discord chat let us know that they took Jakey's advice and they were pretty happy picking him up. I'm not saying it's going to continue like this forever, but while it's hot right now and, things are clicking, you ride the hot wave. And Leonard, I feel like, is just, developing himself still. He's getting more experience. He's banging a little bit. He's getting points. He's playing good minutes. So you want exposure to guys like this that are growing talent throughout the season. And rookies always take a jump in the second half of the year as well. Like, they get acclimated to the situation. I'm really hyped for Leonard. I feel like he can have a really strong end of year. And the PP1 is like the cherry on top. That's what makes him so valuable when you're getting exposed to like the best players on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got a bit of a banger upside.
Yep.
I don't think we've been seeing it that much lately. But
No.
with all the points, it hasn't really been an issue. But the possibility is still there.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's get to number 6.
At number 6, we have Claude Giroux of the Ottawa Senators. 4-game week this week and 4-game week next week. He's been putting up points. Again, this is one that I like. I don't usually go for the non-power play one guys. Also, Ottawa's a mess lately. I don't know if we should dive into everything that's been going on with Ottawa, but
you mean the rumors?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be.
First of all, I we love it. Elliot Friedman, great reporter, always has the great insights. But I listened to his take on 32 Thoughts, and I don't know. I just disagreed with it. They were like, maybe he has some insider information that like he can't say that makes him really lean that way. But he basically said like, if I'm Allmark and people are saying this stuff about me, like I'm going to the team and I'm saying get me out of here. I think that's a crazy reaction. Like,
it's not like it's the team's fault.
No, but I'm just like, I feel like in professional sports, people are gonna say stuff about you, right? Like, in soccer it happens all the time, in football it happens all the time. Like, imagine like somebody just starts a rumor about you, and you're like, all right, like trade me. Then somebody you go somewhere else, and somebody starts a rumor about you there. Like, what are you gonna do? Just keep jumping around team when people starting rumors? So I thought that was a little bit of exaggeration of being like, all right, like whatever. Like the team backed him too. They were like, there's no validity to anything here. Like, we'll stop trying to mess with our team. Basically, like I don't know. I thought that was a weird reaction to have to basically rumors, but
I think the whole situation's very strange, and I don't want to look, it's all guesswork, right? But I just feel the reactions make it seem like there's definitely some level of truth to what's been going on, what's been said. Something definitely happened. I mean, the fact is he's on a leave of absence that nobody knows why. I mean, not to get too into it, but Batherson's girlfriend unfollowed him on Instagram and then deleted all the photos of them together.
Unfollowed like 12 people from Instagram and they were all girls. So I don't know if maybe something happened there and Allmark spilled the beans. I don't know the rumors, but
something definitely happened. And in general, I feel like it can only be bad for the Senators because if players are dealing with this stuff in their heads, they can't be focusing as much on playing good hockey.
I think we saw that versus Colorado. Like I think the players were not focused at all. So
yeah, that was a spanking for sure. At least it was against Colorado, so you can just say, oh, they're the best team in the league, so it's not our fault. But we'll see what happens against a more normal team that's not literally the best in the league. But all that to say, Giroux's been playing super well. He's not involved in any of this stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I don't know if he's happily married. I don't even know if he's married.
I assume
I'm gonna guess he's married.
Yeah.
And he's
either
happy.
way, he's not involved in all this stuff. So hopefully, it won't mess with his head and he could keep up what he's been doing because he's been doing really solid points wise. So it's a good pickup again. 2 straight 4-game weeks. So picking up an Ottawa guy is a good 2-week stream at least.
Yep. All right. Let's get to number 5.
All right. At number 5, we have Josh Doan of the Buffalo Sabres. Again, 4-game week this week and 4-game week the week after. He's line 1, power play 1. This slot, honestly, I couldn't decide. I didn't want to put multiple guys from the same team on the list because there's a lot of guys to talk about. But this could have been Josh Doan. It could have been Josh Norris. It could have been Jason Zucker. It could have been Bowen Byram. There's a lot of interesting Buffalo guys right now because of how well they've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Doan because he has the best deployment, the line 1, power play 1.
Yep.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Norris or Zucker. For me, the one that kind of seems like he's been doing the best, but I'm the most wary of picking up is Byram because without the power play 1, I just don't see how it's sustainable.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's for me, I feel like, look, if you need a defenseman, who's going to get you points, he's probably still the best available one on the wire, but like it feels a bit like a trap. It feels like it's the type of pickup you pick him up and then he dries up immediately and you're like, where did all the points go? So if we're looking for guys who should get you points on Buffalo, how would you rank the three other guys like Doan, Norris, Sucker?
I think it goes,
at least for this week.
Yeah, I think it goes right now Doan, Norris, Sucker.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm a Josh Norris fan. I love him. Like, I drafted him in the 10th round, high expectations, but he's not playing. Like, I think he's on line 2, but with line 3 minutes. So it's just kind of like one of those situations where he's playing like 13, 14 minutes a night, which is not enough to be like super valuable for fantasy, but he's still producing. I feel like every game he's getting an assist. He's just not getting any category coverage, and the minutes are not there. So if the minutes tick up, if he ends up playing like top 6, where, you know, he's the second line center and playing 18 minutes a night, or he's centering Tage Thompson, I think he blows up. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
absolutely.
I think it's just a ticking time bomb for him to like explode in value. He'll get like 2-3 shots a game. He'll get you like the 7-8 faceoff wins. I don't think the hits are going to be part of his game. Like last year, we saw him average 2.4 hits a game, which is tremendous for a pure C, especially in banger leagues. This year, he's not hitting at all. I think he's too squishy. He's been hurt so many times. I think he's just being careful for his body. So I don't think that's part of his game anymore, which is unfortunate. But he's still on the power play 1, and he's a talented goal scorer. So I really think he needs to be on the ice more to get those opportunities. But the Sabres just won like 10 games in a row. They're still winning games now, even this win streak is over. So I don't think they're motivated to change things up. When that starts happening, I can see Norris getting a bump up, and I think he has the most long-term potential out of all of these guys. But Josh Doan seems like the clear-cut guy to be like line 1, power play 1. I basically held Zach Benson the whole season while he was hurt, so he could be Josh Doan.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh Doan ends up being the guy is taking his spot after the injury. So
yeah, and I will say I also looked into like some more of like the deeper stats for this team, and Doan is like top of the list on all the things like, you know, play driving, like expected goals for, like all that stuff. So, and then he was on a pretty cold stretch for a bit, but now the last 3 games he has 4 points, goals in 3 straight, and it just seems like he was kind of like getting unlucky, but the points were ready to come. So, and then on the other side, Zucker's like at the bottom for all that stuff. Like he's been like overperforming like crazy, you know. So like
that's the type of player that he is, though. Even last year it was the same thing. Like he was getting, he doesn't get as many chances, but he converts them at a high rate because of like the player that he is and the style of play that he has. So I wouldn't say it's out of the normal, but it's like definitely not consistent. Let's say like.
Yeah, like he can have. I'd say he's the most likely to get you the most power play points in any given week. But he's also the most likely to give you straight zeros on any given week. So it's like the high upside but low floor.
Classic Jason Zucker week is like he'll play 3 games. One of them will be straight zeros. The next one will be like 2 goals, 1 assist, a power play point, 4 shots, and then the next one will be like 1 assist, 1 shot, nothing else. Type of thing.
Yeah,
like that's just you get the whole range of dog water to like amazing to less like normal.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyways, there's a lot of interesting Buffalo guys to pick up, and with 2 4-game weeks in a row, I don't think you could go wrong with any of them. But we're gonna go with Josh Doan as our main recommendation.
Yep. All right. Getting into my favorite player ever at number 4.
At number 4, we've got Jake Debrusk of the Vancouver Canucks. They have a 4-game week this week, 4-game week next week. He's been popping off lately. I mean, he's leading their team in power play goals. I think he's pretty high up in the league in power play goals because that's all he does. He doesn't get assists. He doesn't get even strength goals. He just gets power play goals. But I mean, we're not complaining. Yeah, we're not complaining about those power play goals, right? Most leagues count those as more valuable than any other type of point. So, so we take those. His shooting volume is really high for a guy this low rostered. He can throw in a hit, like one hit per game, something like that. He's just really streaky. I think he's been known for that his whole career, where when he's hot, he's popping off, but when he's cold, he can just do nothing. He even got scratched like at the start of last week.
That was crazy, though. I don't know why that happened. That does not make any sense.
Especially on this Vancouver roster.
To scratch a guy like this.
Exactly. No, it's crazy. He's also being involved in like a lot of trade rumors. So it's a very interesting
Really? I didn't see any trade rumors with Debrusk.
Yeah, I've been seeing like the Canucks are pretty much like, we're open for business. There's no one who's safe. Like, I mean, obviously like guys like Bouillon or whatever like are safe, but like, you know, for the most part, like they're like anyone, you know, like even Debrusk, like so I don't think anything's going to happen because of his contract, but they're saying like we're open to it. So I don't think that's going to happen either way this week or next week or anything like that. So I wouldn't consider it. in our recommendation, but it's just something to throw out there. I feel like he's a very interesting player this year. But like I said, he's so streaky that when he's on one of his hot streaks, you want him on your team, especially with 2 4-game weeks coming up. And when he's on one of his cold streaks, you could just drop him and then grab him. I mean, I've picked him up and dropped him like 3 times this year. Now Kevin has him and he's playing against you next week, so he's gonna pop off. So I honestly should have put him in the top 3 just for that reason. But this is a great pickup.
He was just on your roster, Josh, and then you cut him, and then I picked him up like as soon as he cleared waivers, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and I dropped some fab on him. I was the only one that bid on him, which was surprising to me because our waivers are like pretty dry. Like there's not really anybody of value. So a power play 1 guy that shoots this much, like can shoot over 3 shots a game, I thought was very valuable. Nobody else bid on him. So
it's just like he'll have a game like 7 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, and then he'll go like 3 games with 0 shots, and then he'll go back to so like the averages are still really high, but like it's just how streaky he is, and then he got scratched and so like it's the consistency is not there, but we're talking about a 1 week to 2 week stream, so that's why it's a great pickup.
So he got scratched. He's played 6 games since then. He's got 6 points, 4 power play points, 3 goals. So. Listen, he's hot right now. He's shooting a lot. He's actually hitting a lot more than you would expect as well as of late. So I'm excited to have him on my roster for this 4-game week against Josh, and then keep him on my roster after then. So hopefully this doesn't get scratched. I just spoke it into existence. He's going to be the worst player in fantasy this week. So you heard it here first.
Yeah, but I have spoken into existence that he's going to be the best. So
bad luck is gonna win out.
Yeah, you see, guys, it's already starting. This is what the group chat's going to be like for the next week.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to
breaking into the top 3 at number 3.
We've got Jared McCann of the Seattle Kraken. So he's on line 1, power play 1, 4-game week this week and next week. Another one of those good 2-week streams. And he's just been super hot. I mean, did you know? I was just looking at the standings today. Seattle in general. Look, do you know what Seattle's record is in their last 10 games?
In their last 10 games, do they have like 8 wins, 2 losses?
8-0-2. They have not lost a single regulation game in their last 10 games. They are popping off on all cylinders. Obviously, Grubauer's been a big story. Decord's been sick also. So like goaltending's been great, but the offense has been there, which is like never happened before for Seattle. Vince Dunn is popping off. I'm sure you're happy about that, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Today I'm benching Pavel Dorofeyev. Like it's a Saturday. There's so many games. We never have to bench anybody in our league because it's so deep. I actually have to bench somebody this week, and I'm benching Dorofeyev because he's getting 4th line minutes and not shooting anything. So I wish I had Vince Dunn because I traded Vince Dunn for Dorofeyev like earlier in the season. It was Dunn and Palmieri right before the ACL tear, literally like a couple days before, it feels like.
Yeah, crazy. At least you have Ben Sherratt, so that's all that matters. But so Seattle's just been popping off. And again, this is another one of those that could have been a couple different names, but I wanted to put who I thought was the best one. And then also I didn't want to clog up the list with too many guys who are kind of similar. But you've also got, there's also Eberle. Eberle's day-to-day, which is why I didn't put him. Otherwise, if healthy, I think I take him over McCann. I don't know if that's crazy.
I don't think right now. I think you take it McCann now.
You think you take McCann? Just because maybe because the day-to-day and him coming back and all that, but like Eberle's been like consistent over the past month, like killing it. But honestly, McCann's the bigger name and he's popping off like we kind of expected. So no, you're right. That's why we have McCann in here and not Eberle also. And then the other name.
Last year we did the opposite though. Not last year, last week.
Yeah, exactly.
We had Eberle on the list, and we specifically said like you would expect it to be Jared McCann, but like Eberle's been significantly better. McCann was hurt on and off the waiver wire, like the IR, like the whole year, so it's kind of like you're frustrated with him. He's like 30% owned, but we said like when healthy, he's supposed to be the best forward on this team.
Absolutely.
And I feel like recently he's been proving why we said that take.
Yeah, 100%. So. I think this is a no-brainer, great pickup. I'm happy to have him in our top 3. I think it's going to be a big W for this week. And if he's not available and Eberle is, and Eberle gets cleared to play, I'm happy grabbing him as well. And then I'll save the other main guy for our bangers list.
Yes. All right, at number 2.
All right, at number 2, we've got Showtime, Patrick Kane of the Detroit Red Wings. He was actually like fluctuating between power play 1 and power play 2. So I wasn't sure like what you would think of putting him in our top 3, but he's got a 4-game week. And fact is, just compared to guys available on waivers, he's still like, on the season, he's like around like 0.8 points per game. Like his power play points have been sick. He is kind of a power play merchant, so if he's on power play 2, that is definitely a big loss. But then in his last game, he got a power play goal. He reached 500, which is pretty huge milestone.
Yep.
Yeah, he just seems like a tier above a lot of waiver guys, you know? Like he doesn't feel like a waiver guy, so I feel like we still have to recommend him as a top one on a 4-game week.
Yep.
But obviously the recent line shuffling has been not enjoyable as a Kane owner.
Yep. I mean, I have we play in a league where I manage a team in a league where we play with other fantasy hockey experts from the Hockey News, and Kane is on my roster there. I ended up picking him up off waivers like 2 months ago. I was like crazy that he's on waivers, to be honest. And he's been very solid, but like the recent deployment, honestly, it is concerning because if he's on a power play 1, he loses a lot of value because a big part of his value is that 0.4 power play points and like the shot threshold, right? If he's on power play 2, he's not going to average close to 0.4 power play points. So it's kind of in the back of my mind, like, would I rather take the safety option of like a Debrusk or a Doan this week, not having to worry about, is my guy going to get bumped off power play 1? I might. I'm a low risk tolerance person. Like I kind of want the sure thing and then build around that. But if you're a higher risk tolerance manager where you're, you know, going for the bigger swings, then I think Kane is the guy for you because I think he has the most upside if he has a good deployment, and he should have the good deployment. It's like a 75% chance, maybe 60 to 70, that he keeps that power play 1 and just like moves forward with it. So I really like him. I think he's a special player, high shot volume. We love that. He can score a goal. It's still Patrick Kane, even though he's older. It's really just the power play 1 exposure that shouldn't have been an issue the whole year, but now we're seeing it kind of be a little bit more inconsistent. So you keep that in the back of your mind because deployment is like the foundation for everybody's fantasy value. Like I think that's the thing we preach the most here. It's like always like deployment, because deployment leads to who are you playing with, how much time you are on the ice, and what are the high danger chances you're getting exposed to. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And it's just like the guy who's replacing him on power play 1 lately is James Van Riemsdyk. Like the, you know, we're talking about old, you know, like it just, I mean, he's been doing well with it, but like, that's not a sustainable situation. Like whether the guy's going to get injured or scratched. I mean, he's been scratched a bunch of times. Like
is it sustainable for this week?
That's exactly
it. It foils your fantasy plans.
That's exactly it. So I'm expecting Kane to be power play 1 at least halfway through this week. But if you're more like Evan said, if you're more, you know, you want the guarantee, then you can go with the Doan or Debrusk over him. All right, let's go to our top. You know, it's getting boring. It's getting a bit stale, but it's still the right thing to do.
I'm actually disappointing that we're going this direction again. I'm gonna say because I just feel like I think this is the week he's gonna let us down.
Really,
we're talking number 1.
Ryan O'Reilly of the Nashville Predators.
Surprise,
line on power play
surprise.
1, only 3-game week. I mean, it's tough because, yeah, like in all our buy low, sell high episodes, we're saying Nashville's not for real. They're not going to sustain this, like, you know, sell high. But at the same time, you have this guy who's under 40% owned, who's just doing it day in and day out, and he's just getting point per game over the past month. Like, it's just tough to not recommend him in the top 3 when, you know, we only recommend under 40% owned guys. How often do you find a guy who's like over a point per game for like 2 months, you know?
On the season, he's at 0.86 points per game, 0.19 power play points, 1.7 shots, like 9 face-off wins. Over the last month, he's at 1.07 points, 0.36 power play points, 1.9 shots. So it's just kind of like he's at 0.2-ish points per game more than his season average, and his season average is already higher than we all expected, I think. So that's kind of where we're like, okay, you know, what is this sustainable? Is this the new norm for him? Like, what are we thinking here? And it's also Nashville, and we see Nashville, like, I think the closer we get the trade deadline, the closer things loom to not going well. But I don't know. It's just, first of all, 3-game week. So the number 1 guy that we're recommending only has 3 games when, you know, 5 guys before him have 4 games. So if you really want to prioritize schedule, you can choose one of the other names. But like, listen, guys, he's over a point per game over the last month, and, you know, almost at 0.4 power play points. He's a pure C, so you might not be able to fit him in your lineup. But at the end of the day, he's still producing at this rate, and he's still less than 40% owned. So like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I really I'm like, we're all getting tired of it, right? I checked. We keep track of our, you know, recommendations for all the weeks. I think this is the 5th or 6th week in a row that he's been in our top 3.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to be doing that. Just
No.
own him over 40%, and we'll never mention him again. But like we have to do the correct thing. And when a guy's performing like this, you can't not mention him.
And he can be like, first of all, a fantastic trade piece, depending how deep your league is. Like if you're able to pick him up, maybe he's not as valuable because, he's still got the waiver sting to him. But if you're somebody that picked up Ryan O'Reilly, like when we first recommended him, like, 6 weeks ago, first of all, you've been thrilled with it since then. Like he's only been delivering. That's why he's still on the list every week. But you could use him at a trade piece, and I would absolutely be trying to do that. Like we talked about, a few episodes ago, we talked about the Nashville guys that sell highs. Most of them are still in the same boat. If you can use him as like the extra piece to get you in like a 2-for-1 to like the next level, like, pick a player like boat goes up type of thing, I think that's a fantastic option. And listen, if you need a stream for this week and you need points, this is the guy for you.
Yeah, but definitely agree that using him in a 2-for-1 is the best way to get full value on him, because Boat will come crashing down any day now. So let's just hope it's not this week, so he keeps delivering us our wins. But yeah, let's go to our top 5 bangers with a capital B for the week.
Yeah, so these are guys that can give you points, but we're focusing on, like the archetype of bangers. We are banger management after all, so we got to touch on these names. And I feel like this is the first time that we have I love this list, actually, Josh.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's not the classic guys you would expect. We got a lot of more forwards in here than you would anticipate, because usually it's just like the banger D, like, spoiler alert, no Radko Gudas this week. So I'm excited to get into it, but listen, this is basically Radko Gudas on steroids right now, because we're talking about number 5.
At number 5, we have Jeremy Lauzon of the Vegas Golden Knights. Only 3 games this week, but he has 4 games the week after, averaging 3.7 hits, 1.8 blocks, and over a penalty minute per game. He's just been killing it lately at the Bangs. It's funny because last week we were discussing who would you rather, Gudas or Lauzon, and I said Lauzon. You guys said Gudas. You guys convinced me. Now are you convinced back to Lauzon's side, or is it still like too small a sample size and long term you'd rather Gudas?
I think long term, I'm still taking the safety net of Gudas, just because I know like he has 0% ability to get scratched or whatnot. But Lauzon has just been like ramping up, it feels like. So if you have to give me one for this week, give me Lauzon. You have to give me one for next week, give me Lauzon. If you have to give me one for like the fantasy playoffs that I have to pick right now, probably Gudas. So that's kind of like where my head is at. But I mean, listen, he's hitting an insane amount, almost 4 hits a game. His blocks are up as well, like almost 2 blocks a game, and like that was not part of his game before. It was kind of just like you get him for the hits and that's it. But like if he's able to block close to 2 a game, like that's hovering over like elite banger D territory. So really, really happy with this. It's only a 3-game week, and he can still win you the category on his own. So
yeah, for sure. Love me some Lauzon. All right, here's a fun one. Let's go to
number 4.
At number 4, we've got Vasily Podkolzin of the Edmonton Oilers. 5 games this week. I was like, I have to mention someone on the Oilers who's a solid banger, because 5-game weeks don't grow on trees and you got to take advantage. He's got 1.5 shots per game, 3 hits per game, 0.6 blocks, and he's playing line 2 with Leon Draisaitl. Like he could get points here and there. Like he's not a complete, bum at points, pure banger guy. So on a 5-game week, I love picking up a Podkolzin. And I think he could win you 1 to 2 categories on his own.
Yeah. So 5-game week, first of all, you're getting all the volume possible. He's the type of guy that he'll get you 1 shot, 3 hits, and then you're hoping for a point. Over the last 2 games, he's got 3 points in the last 2 games where you're like, oh my God, he's hot. In the 8 games prior to that, he had straight zeros for points. So you're not picking him up hoping that, line 2 with Draisaitl, he's going to get points here and there. It's very inconsistent. I feel like it's, 0.4, 0.45 points per game, so slightly over 1 point every 2 games. But the bangs, like if he averages three hits a game, depending on what your scoring format is, if it's a points or whatnot, and then he's playing 5 games, that's 15 hits right there for your hits category. That's massive. So I think he's the type of guy that you pick up, and it really sways that one category for you your whole matchup. And then the icing on the cake is that you're playing with Leon Draisaitl, and you're more likely than not to luck into a few points here and there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go to
number 3.
Number 2, we've got Kevin's best friend who he picked up and is popping off, Matthias Samuelsson of the Buffalo Sabres. 4-game week this week, 4-game week the week after, 1.5 shots, 1.5 hits, 2.2 blocks, over 22 minutes a night of ice time, and apparently the shorthanded GOAT, because he has 2 shorthanded points this week. If your league counts that, You're pretty excited about that. Also, you're probably annoyed that they happened in the same week and didn't
Yep.
spread out, because
Yes.
usually one shorting is enough to win you the category. So you're like, do it
Put
separate
them
weeks next
a
time.
few days apart, please. I could have used the one against
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. But no, he's been someone who's been on my watch list all year. He's been on and off of people's rosters. I'm definitely jealous you grabbed him,
Mhm.
but he's just really solid for bangs, and he's also having these once in a while he'll have these like 3-point games,
Yeah.
which there's not like Jeremy Lauzon will never get you a 3-point game. Like I love the guy, but that's just not
It's
in his.
about to happen.
Yeah, I know. I'm speaking it into existence, but that just doesn't happen. Samuelson, I feel like he's had like multiple this year.
Yeah.
I know he beat his like goal total from last year in like the
Yes.
first 15 games of the season, something crazy. Like he's just, the Buffalo just seems a lot better this year, and he's taking a step up. He's playing first line minutes, and he's taking full advantage of his opportunity. So I think this is a great pickup for the next 2 weeks at least, and he can last on your roster longer than that.
So my League of Record team, I have Samuelson. I picked him up last week in preparation for the upcoming weeks, plus my matchup with Josh because Buffalo plays 4 times. But he was also just like, in my opinion, arguably the best banger D that was available in our league on waivers. So I was really happy to get him on my team because, first of all, let me talk about Samuelson a little bit. The guy last year had 14 points on the season. He's already at 22. He had 4 goals last year. He's already at 7. Now he has 2 shorthanded points on the season. They happen both in the span of 2 days.
Right
This
after Kevin
week.
picked him up.
Last season he had zero shorthanded points. So this is the classic thing that usually happens to me, where I'm like, my opponent just has this guy that has like 0 shorthanded points exposure, randomly gets 1 in the first game for his first time ever against me in this matchup, which is pretty crazy. But also, like, he's assistant captain on this team. That means he's important. The team likes him a lot. He's playing 22, 23 minutes a night. He's playing the big minutes. I think he's a phenomenal, honestly, banger D. Like, if you need a guy that's going to average you, like, you need a guy that cements the block position for your team, will get you shots, will get you hits at a decent rate that's, like, better than the other guys. Because there's a lot of banger D that are just like, I'll get you hits, no blocks, no shots. I'll get you blocks, no hits, no shots. So a guy that's able to, like, touch all the categories a little bit and be elite in one of them is really valuable. And he's getting you the points upside. Did you see his shorthanded goal?
I did. That was insane.
It was pretty nuts. It was a snipe.
The sharp angle. Yeah.
I was watching that live and I was just like, oh my god, that's my guy.
That's so hype.
Yeah, so I think just listen, the Buffalo Sabres are hot right now. I think you want exposure to this team in some way. It doesn't need to be like their star players, but they have a lot of valuable guys that are like low percent rosters. So I think Samuelson is like a really top name there. I'm not saying he's a second coming of Rasmus Dahlin or anything like that, but on a week like this where you need to stream, you're in a deeper league, you need to round out your banger categories, like he's one of the perfect names.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, I mean, I don't love it because I'm playing against it, but it's a great pickup.
I'm looking forward to him getting his 3rd shorthanded point ever against
Oh my
you.
god, I will crash out so hard.
You will, and you'll hear it here first.
Yeah, okay, let's go to
number 2.
At number 2, the previously alluded to third guy on Seattle that we'll be recommending, and that is Eeli Tolvanen. He has, again, 4-game week this week and next week, averaging 1.8 shots, 2.6 hits, 1.1 blocks. He kind of just does it all, jack of all trades. Like, you don't get this type of backhat production from forwards, specifically the blocks. Like, you can get a forward who hits, you can get a forward who shoots, but forwards who block are very rare and do the other stuff as well, and who are on power play 1 and have that the points upside. So he's a great bangers for this week that also has the points upside.
I love it. I mean, he's been a guy that we've been talking about a lot lately, and people are asking us, like, is this sustainable? Like, do I just drop? Like, what are we doing here? And honestly, I really like Tolvanen. I would love to have him on my team. Guys, if you look at his game log, the shots, hits, blocks combo is nuts right now. Like, this reminds me of like when Heineman first started becoming like valuable, and you look at his game log and it's just like 5 hits, 5 hits, 5 hits, 3 shots, 2 shots. Now Heineman has significantly slowed down, but Tolvanen is the same archetype of player where it's just like he'll give you that power forward archetype, but he's hitting all those banger categories. And Josh mentioned it, like from the forward position, it's so rare to have somebody that blocks that's also valuable in other stuff. And listen, the points have slowed down for Tolvanen, but he's still like a good enough bet that I wouldn't be shocked if he gets you, like, they play 4 games, he could get you 2 points, and I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, in terms of people talking about, like, is he going to slow down, whatever, like, it's like Evan said, like, I wouldn't bank on the points season long. The backcats, he's shown that he can do this before, but he's doing it at a pretty elite level right now. So I wouldn't mind selling high on him. if you can.
If you
Otherwise,
can.
otherwise you just hold on and enjoy the ride, and then if he slows down, then you could drop him. But for now, he's really hot, so definitely a
Yep.
good pickup. All right, and let's go to
Number 1.
at number 1. We have Alex Lafreniere of the LA Kings. It's just he's 4-game week, and that shot hits combo is just so appealing. 2.4 shots, 2.7 hits. Now he's winning faceoffs. He's the line 1 center. I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, he's the line 1C for the Kings right now because Kopitar's out, and so you add faceoff wins to his repertoire. And then look, the Kings are kind of in a tailspin, but he's got as good a shot as anyone on that team to get points, which is a pretty low shot because they suck. But like, he's in there. But honestly, it's really just the shot hits. Like you look at that and you're like, over the past month, he's averaging over a triple.
That's nuts.
That's insane. 3 shots, 3 hits.
Wait, it's like
game.
a double triple.
A double triple. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. A double triple. Yeah. And it's just insane. Like you look at those numbers, you look at his game log, and you're like, I wish I had that guy on my team. So a 4-game week, it's an easy pickup. They do have a 2-game week the week after, so there's a chance you'll end up dropping him after that. But at least for this week, it's a no-brainer.
And I wouldn't be shocked if they give him center eligibility on Yahoo or other fantasy platforms because he's playing line 1C right now. If Kopitar is missing any, more time that he's already missing, he might play enough games that he gets center eligibility, and he'll be triple eligible at that point, center, left wing, right wing. So in a lot of leagues, that's very valuable. But guys, right now, I feel like he's like a glaring name of like not a big name, not hugely rostered, but has massive deployment right now and is delivering. And I feel like nobody's really talking about him that much. So I mean, I picked him up in the expert league that we play in, and I'm very happy with him. And listen, I might like him on my roster more than like Patrick Kane, Troy Terry, which I also have on my team. Like I'm quicker to drop those guys than Lafreniere right now, given how much categories he's touching.
It's just like 3 shots, 3 hits a game for over a month.
That's disgusting.
You can
in the best way possible.
Yeah, you can stream points easier than that, which is weird to say, but like, and you can stream like just the hits, bet or whatever, but like that combo of shots, hits at that high level is just something that's not. Most of the guys in your roster who you drafted are not doing that. So the fact that you can get a guy under 40% owned who's doing that is kind of crazy.
We always want unicorn players, guys that are very rare in terms of like what they're able to give for your fantasy team. Like Brady's one of those guys where he's getting you like 4 shots a game, 3 hits a game. Like, yeah, you can make up those numbers on the aggregate with like 2-3 players and like balance the production around. But having one guy able to produce that is just like so valuable because of the flexibility it gives you in the rest of your team. And Lafreniere is, if he's averaging a double triple, 3 hits, 3 blocks, 3 hits, 3 shots, like that's just unicorn territory.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping Holloway's going to do for my team once he comes back. So.
I hope not.
We'll see. But yeah, no, that's a great one. Let's dive into our goalies. Our top 3 quantity goalies. These are guys who should get you 2+ starts this week. Again, under 40% owned as always. Let's start with
number 3.
At number 3, we've got Jonathan Quick of the New York Rangers, your starter for the New York Rangers because Igor Shesterkin is out. Shesterkin, we don't know the timeline yet, but there's no way he's coming back this week. I mean, look, I just jinxed it probably, but like, it doesn't seem like there's any way he's coming back this week. So they're playing Seattle, Ottawa, Philly. Look, Seattle and Philly are both high in the standings, but I'm not particularly scared of either of them as an opponent. So. Quick can get all 3 of these matchups. More like he'll get 2 just because he's old. But like if they don't trust the backup, then Quick will get all 3. So yeah, he's been solid all year. So it's a solid pickup for sure.
He's been solid all year. Since coming into the starter position, I feel like he hasn't been super impressive. Like the numbers haven't been impressive, but if I've been watching the games because I have a lot of Rangers guys, and I feel like the team is more letting him down. And so as opposed to, it's kind of giving me Jet Greaves vibes where like, he's doing his best and he's playing really well, but the team around him is like letting him down and giving up bad chances. So I think better days ahead for Jonathan Quick. But if he's a starter for the New York Rangers, like you have to be interested in that. Most likely, I feel like if you're in the league and you have Shesterkin, like and you scooped him, like you're going to hold that until Shesterkin is back healthy, but as a starter for the Rangers, I feel like it's a no-brainer pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. But I will say, like, I feel like this happened a few times this year, right? Where like the starter goes down and then like the backups like gets scooped up a ton, and then like he ends up being terrible. Like look at Eric Comrie, look at Levi Merriline, and look at like it's happened like a few times. So I do think Quick is higher than those other guys. I mean, look at like Anton Forsberg when Kemper went down. Like so, so I think Quick is more valuable than those other guys were because he's just a better goalie.
Yeah.
And I mean, I won't say this team is necessarily better because they're kind of a mess this year, but they have the potential to be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just something to keep in mind. Like, I don't think these are necessarily like season-winning pickups, but this is just like if you need a goalie for a few weeks until Shesterkin comes back, he will get you the starts
option.
and he should be solid. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to
number 2.
At number 2, honestly, like he was going to be number 1, but number 1 was just too much of a no-brainer with the schedule.
Yeah.
But so number 2 is Philip Grubauer, the Seattle Kraken. He's been insane lately. Like, actually, where did this come from? You know, like channeling his inner like Carey Price or something. But they've got a 4-game week. They seem to be alternating like 50-50 starts for now. Like Decourt is still the clear starter, but Grubauer's playing too well to not get 50% of the share. So right now it's very much a split, and he's just been crazy. Like, I think he has maybe one game in the last like 2 weeks, 3 weeks where he let in more than 2 goals.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, Seattle's 8-0-2 in their last 10 games, and a large part of that is Grubauer. I mean, he's responsible for exactly half of that. So no, he's been amazing. This is going to get you quantity and quality, and I definitely want to be riding that wave, you know, while it's still going.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like he's got the sample size now to be able to say like he's actually putting some good play on the ice right now. Seattle's winning games. Listen, I would not be afraid from streaming Philip Grubauer, and yeah, like I'm trying to think like what is his value rest of season? Like, is this projectable? Like, is it going to be a split moving forward? I feel like as long as he's playing this well, he's going to get starts. It's going to be 50-50 until one of them really falters and the other one like doesn't falter. So, as for the moment right now, like you don't want to be left holding the bag, but I think you got some runway here. So.
Yeah, I think that it's 100% a 50-50 as long as they keep like chugging along like they have been. I think that Decourt definitely has more leash than Grubauer does because Decourt is their starter and goalie of the future. Like Grubauer's not going to be around for that many more years with Seattle.
I thought his career was over last year.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of coming out of nowhere. So look, if you tell me like am I picking up Grubauer and then he's going to, you know, be on my team for the rest of the season and help me in the playoffs? Like, I don't think so. But I think for the next few weeks, like while this hot streak stays up, then he's getting 50% of starts. And look at these matchups too, right? You look at like the Rangers, they're in a tailspin. New Jersey's a mess. Boston's a mess. Utah has actually been pretty solid lately, but again, not the scariest team. So like getting 2 of those 4, he should get the Rangers in Boston. I think that's how the rotation is going to shake out. So Rangers in Boston, I'm happy with both those matchups.
Absolutely.
Okay, and let's go to
number 1.
At number 1, we've got Connor Ingram of the Edmonton Oilers. Look, Grubauer's been way better than Ingram, but if you look at this schedule for the Oilers, it's probably the best 1-week schedule I've ever seen a team have in terms of quantity and quality. So they're playing Chicago and Nashville back-to-back, then they're playing the Islanders, and then they're playing Vancouver and St. Louis back-to-back. You couldn't pick a 5 easier teams to play in the span of 1 week, right? And look, Ingram and Pickard are guaranteed 2 starts each, and then who's going to get the third one of Islanders? I think Ingram has the edge there, so that's why I put him in the here in the quantity. So 3 starts against 3 easy teams. Like if he gets Islanders, then he's probably getting Chicago, Islanders, and St. Louis. That's an insane week. You know, like that's pretty nice. So yeah, no, I definitely like Ingram as a pickup for this week.
I mean, you're getting a guy that's going to start a lot of games for the Oilers against the worst teams in the league. Guys, like we foreshadowed the matchup from me and Josh this week. Like it's not even going to be close because Josh has Draisaitl and McDavid playing 5 games each. 5 games each against the worst teams in the league. I think they're going to combine for 30 points against me. I'm going to lose points. I'm going to lose assists, goals, power play points, shots. It's not even going to be close. So
okay, well, you're not mentioning that Ottawa has 4 games this week and you have like their entire team. So.
Yeah, they're not playing the worst guys in the league.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, so
it's fair.
Yeah, and they're also not the Ottawa guys are good, but they're not McDry. So
yeah, no, that's fair. So it should be a good week, hopefully. But regardless, yeah, as the goalies, like I mean, when do you ever get to pick up a goalie who's going to get you 3 starts at all? First of all, right?
Yeah.
Like 3 starts in a week from a pickup. Even most goalies drafted don't get 3 starts in a week.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it's this quality of opponent and you're on that quality of team, like this is a no-brainer.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to our top 3 quality goalies. These are guys who should get you 1 good matchup start, usually on a back-to-back, again, under 40% owned. Let's start with
number 3.
At number 3, we have Akira Schmid of the Vegas Golden Knights. They have a back-to-back against LA and Toronto. LA's in a tailspin. Toronto's actually been solid lately, but they haven't been as scary as they have been in the past. So I'm happy with either of these matchups. Also of note, Carter Hart got injured recently, but Aiden Hill is back at practice. So I would have put Schmid in the quantity guys, but first of all, I like all the other ones better, I think. And he's not guaranteed to get the 2 starts if Hill comes back by the end of the week.
Yep. I have something really funny to mention.
Okay.
Man, I wish I remembered who it was, but I want to say it was. Dang, it might have been Jordari in the Discord, but if I forget who you are, I'm really sorry. But remember that when we were having this conversation, I was laughing because going into a few days ago, they had Carter Hart and Jet Greaves, and they were playing against each other, and they were like, "Oh well, at least I'm guaranteed to win." Like they were trying to decide who do I start or whatever. Let it behold, like Vegas wins the game. Jet Greaves has like his worst game in a while, and then Carter Hart didn't even stay in the game because he let in the first shot on goal, so he was over 1 and then got hurt on that on that play. So he went over 1 and then got taken out. Then the backup came in, won the game, and Jet Greaves listed a bad game. So it was just like the worst case scenario, and it was like
That's
he
crazy.
jinxed himself because he said he was at least guaranteed to win because he had both starters going into the matchup. So I thought that was really funny. I'm really sorry I forgot who it was, but shout out. If I had more time, I'd just scroll on my phone and see who said it. But
no, that's I saw that. That's like the opposite of the when you get the double shutout, like when your goalie's playing and they goes to shootout and it's a 1-0 shutout. Like, yeah, I don't think it's ever happened to me either, but like it happens to someone because those games happen once in a while, and usually most goalies are owned. So so that's like the opposite of that, right? Getting both your goalies playing and you somehow don't end up with the win at least. Oh man, that's brutal. But yeah, anyways, Akira Schmid, solid pickup for the week, and he's definitely guaranteeing you 1 start, but he could get you 2 if Hill's not ready to come back yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, like, the Hill injury did not look good. It looked like his knee bent in a way that it's not supposed to bend. You're not going to get any information from Vegas because it's Vegas.
Wait, the Hill injury or the heart injury?
The heart injury, sorry.
Okay.
So Schmid might have some runway here to be like the guy that's getting almost all the starts until Hill comes back, which is still ambiguous. Could be next week, could be in a month. Like, they just never going to give us any information. But it seems like it's getting on the closer end. So monitor the situation, but Schmid might be more valuable in the near future.
Yeah, and that's what we keep talking about when we talk about the goalie section, right? We're always like, oh, like, this is a good pickup for this week, and he has the upside of potentially being a pickup for a bit. So Schmid definitely fits that bill. Yep. Let's go to
number 2.
At number 2, we have Anton Forsberg of the LA Kings, back-to-back 2 games against Anaheim, so he's guaranteed a game against Anaheim. Look, LA's a mess right now. Anaheim's a bigger mess. So if you're telling me that my goalie's playing against Anaheim, I'm very happy with that matchup. So I'm taking that any day of the week as a spot start.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this section is all about spot starts. You want one matchup and you want to stream a win. They're playing Anaheim both games. I think LA, listen, even though they haven't been the best, they can still win games, especially against Anaheim, who has not been at their best either. So,
yeah. And let's go to
number 1.
At number 1, we have Calvin Pickard of the Edmonton Oilers, the back-to-backs of Chicago, Nashville, and Vancouver, St. Louis. Both these goalies, Ingram was our number 1 for quantity, Pickard's our number 1 for quality, but Edmonton's getting both this week, right? Yep. One of them's getting the 3 starts. We leaned with Ingram if we had to guess, but both of them are getting multiple starts against bottom-of-the-barrel teams, and Edmonton's just killing it, especially McDavid has been on fire. McDavid alone can outscore any of these teams. So yes. It's I
wonder who's playing against McDavid this week. Me.
Yeah, it should be a fun time, but yeah, I'm happy with an Ingram or a Pickard pickup. So yeah, definitely a big fan of Edmonton's schedule this week.
Crazy that both guys on this team are available on waivers.
I know.
So
it's because Tristan Jarry will come back eventually and save the day.
Hopefully he's not back this week. But definitely do monitor the situation because I feel like he is nearing a return. So if he does come back, it definitely foils the plans for one of these 2 goalies getting less starts. And I mean, Calvin Pickard would be the odd man out, I think. So we're recommending him as the spot start. So when you need that start, make sure you see, who played on the back-to-back and whatnot.
Yeah, I think I agree that like when Jerry comes back, I think Ingram's the backup and Pickard will be sent down. And so their first back-to-back's Monday, Tuesday. So I don't see Jerry coming back that soon. He could come back sometime this week, but I don't see it being like in 2 days.
Yeah.
So Pickard should be good to get you at least one of those back-to-backs.
Early in the
And
week
then
specifically.
yeah, exactly. So I think we're still safe to put him as a spot start guy, but he's not guaranteed the multiple starts even with the two back-to-backs.
Yep.
All
All
right.
right. So that wraps up our Week 15 waiver wire and streaming targets episode. If you made it this far, we really appreciate it. Thanks for rocking with us. JQ will be on the next episode that drops tomorrow, the buy low, sell high episode, which was always our favorite episode to record. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. Listen, follow us on Spotify, Apple, everywhere that you're listening to this. Hit that follow button. Give us a rating for 5 stars or whatever you like. It means a lot to us. It helps the community grow. If you're watching on YouTube, that's pretty dope. And make sure you subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. And don't forget to join the Discord community. Honestly, you guys will not regret it. I feel like a salesman, and I hate being a salesman. It's really not my personality, but I just want to share the community with you guys. It's just so fun interacting with everybody, and hopefully we continue to do so. I don't know what could stop us. Maybe JT injuring everybody. Maybe I just don't come back after what McDavid and Drysdale do to me this week.
Oh my
Maybe I just
God.
don't come back.
They better deliver for me.
I don't think there's any world where they don't. So
You're trying to jinx it so hard. I love that.
There's nothing I could say that could change the result. I'm not superstitious like that, but just a little stitious. And
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how it goes. But I might be crying on the next episode.
I hope so.
Yes. All right. Well, on that note, take it away, Ernie.
Bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo for Jakey.
All right.